Some say the village was built around a tree that knew more than any elder, and others say it was merely root and soil, yet a riddle passed from mother to child, what grows without haste and holds what matters most. The questions settled like mist over rooftops as the first light fell on the square and the people murmured as they prepared for the day's work. The first choice stirred among them. Aaron was a young builder who loved speed. He measured success in the tallness of walls and the swiftness of harvests, and he dreamed of a village that would shine by tomorrow. He admired what rose quickly, mistaking height for strength, and he began to advise others to plant fast and reap sooner. Voices in the marketplace leaned toward his haste. Elder Maya, who tended both herbs and old stories, watched Aaron with patient eyes and spoke of roots more than branches, of deep soil and quiet winters. She taught that what endures is often unseen, and that a season of careful tending matters more than a flash of abundance. Her words landed like seeds in patient hands. At the market, Kilo the trader loudly favored quick returns, promising seeds that sprouted overnight and schemes that yielded more by next season, and many lean ears turned toward his promise. Yet a small circle asked for deep-rooting seed and shared time to strengthen the soil, unsure which path would truly feed them. The village stood at a crossroads between haste and patience. On a quiet evening, a small group, Aaron, Maya, a few families made a pact to plant both kinds. Swift seeds in the sunny plots and slow-rooting trees where the well ran deep, each to prove its truth. They divided tasks and whispered hopes as lanterns swung like slow heartbeats, and the village felt the first stirrings of consequence. The air held the hush of beginnings. The small group tilled the soil where the well ran deepest, mixing compost and ash, and they spoke to the seed as if it were a promise, burying it with patience rather than haste. Children learned to wait at their knees, to feel the humidity of earth, and to understand that time is a companion to growth. A quiet rhythm grew among those who chose depth. Across the ridge, fields of quick-growing grain shot up, tall and bright, bringing immediate relief and celebration to many, and Aaron's methods won applause for the season. The market brimmed with bread and laughter, and some believed the village's fortune had been decided. Yet beneath the surface, questions lingered among those who had planted deeper. Maya taught the children to trace the invisible, how roots twist to find water, how roots meet and bind, and how soil remembers seasons and stores what is needed. She told them that strength multiplies when it is shared below ground, that roots that meet will hold one another through storms. The lesson sank in like rain. Not everyone kept faith with deep work. Some traded patience for the bright returns they could spend, and murmurs rose, "Why wait for seasons when bread is needed tonight?" Kilo's voice grew louder in the tavern, and a few turned their efforts to quicker schemes, tempted by surface shine. The village's harmony showed a thin fault line. Months passed, and the patient plots did not create sudden miracles, only steady green, and a deepening of soil where worms and roots worked together, unseen and sure. Some called it slow magic. Aaron watched with unease as his tall yields gradually fell into cycles of pests and shallow dryness, while the deep plots gained resilience in silence. The first real difference began to show. It is told that when the wind first changed, birds flew in worried patterns, and the old trees shivered as if remembering 1,000 weathers, and villagers hushed their celebrations in the square. Clouds gathered like an argument above the ridge, darkening the joy of recent harvests with the hush of coming trial. The village braced without yet knowing which plans would stand. Rain fell first as a warning, then as a flood, and water ran hard across fields, testing every furrow, every root, and every promise that had been made in drier times. Shallow-rooted plants buckled and slid where the earth loosened, and some lean walls gave way to the force of water and wind. The village learned quickly that surface success is fragile. in the deep plots, where soil had been fed and roots had time to explore, saplings stood as if anchored by a promise. Water flowed around them but did not undo them, and the old tree gripped the earth like a steady hand. Aaron walked the ranks and touched the trunks, feeling a humility he had not expected, and the village began to see a lesson writ in mud and leaf. The truth of unseen support showed itself. Some families mourned what had been lost from fields planted in haste. Small houses were bowed, and carts of grain were soaked beyond saving, and the market's laughter fell silent. Hilo's quick schemes, once praised, could not shield those who had not prepared, and the trader's face dimmed with a clarity he had not welcomed. Consequence arrived with the first clear day, and the days that followed, the village met at the ancient tree, where Maya placed both hands on the bark and then on Aaron's shoulder, and spoke not of blame, but of what would be born from this loss. They could rebuild as before, seeking swift brightness each season, or they could invest in the slow work that had proven its worth. The village inhaled and chose. Hands once busy with short seasons turned to shoring earth, to composting ruined grain into future soil, and to teaching one another the quiet arts of water management and root tending, and slowly a shared craft returned. Those who had wealth from quick harvests gave seed and share to those who had little, and the village's foundation shifted under all their feet. The true turning began below ground. Seasons turned with steady patience, and where the village had chosen depth, the earth grew richer. Water held in places meant to feed, and trees leaned toward one another like old friends. The square filled again, not with sudden boast, but with the calm pride of steady provision, and songs this time were threaded with wiser pauses. Life resumed with a sense that what had been learned would not be forgotten. Aaron, having watched failure and recovery, became a teacher of both speed and depth, showing how quick yield can feed a season, but how deep rooting will feed generations. He learned to speak in two measures. He taught builders to sink foundations, to read the soil, and to save seed for years when weather was unkind. His hands had been reshaped by humility. The village that once split over haste now shared methods and stores, teaching neighboring hamlets how to feed shallow seasons without sacrificing deep work, and the story of the ancient tree traveled like a lantern. It is told that travelers would pause beneath that tree and learn the same riddle that had begun the question: grow slow or fall fast. The parable of their choices became a map for others. In the end, the village prospered not because it chose one way over another, but because it learned patience, tended its roots, and built foundations that bore both feast and famine. The tree and the people had become one lesson. The story concludes with a simple truth: strong roots create lasting wealth, and patience is the quiet currency that compounds across seasons. Take these lessons into your own hands and plant with intention.